morning, mi gente. It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people and an LGBTQ plus Kiki at 9 in the freaking morning. Whose idea was that? Oh, yeah, it was my idea. Yeah, that's why I'm still in bed. Me, I'm FayWhat? And I'm going to help you get your week started off right. We have lots of fun things to talk about. It's going to be an incredible week.
Gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
The FayWhat Show is America's first LGBTQ plus morning show, and I am broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels. I'm also on demand anytime you want, baby. Yep. It's Monday, July 1st, 2024. Welcome to July. Let's keep you about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. I have a sidekick joining me in bed for some conversation. What did you think I was talking about? I would have no freaking idea what to do with all his muscles. Like, they would get in the way. They're more than they're more than a mouth.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try right now. Let's see. I've always tried to eat his feet, but I can't eat his muscles. Anyway, our first segment is called Gay Boy Sleep Late, and this morning I'm joined by my gay guy pal, Jonathan Casañas, board member of Forward Miami and the leadership of Gay Ocho, the largest LGBTQ plus Latino festival in America that is coming back. So make sure that you follow him on all social media outlets. Good morning, John, and welcome back to my bed, boo.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. You better eat that now. You're the one that said it, not me.
I couldn't.
Fucking eat it, bitch.
Oh, lick it.
Actually, that was pretty close.
You taste good. What kind of cream do you put on? You put oil or something?
That's fucking musk and like...
Musk? Like
someone else's saliva. That's what you ate.
Oh my God, where were you last night? Oh my God.
I haven't taken a shower this morning, girl.
I don't mind licking Chris's, remnants, okay? Chris is his fiance and I adore him. He's a big, sweet bear. And if you see him, you might be like, whoa, that's a big motherfucker, right? But he's like the sweetest man, like, in life. He is,
and he never smells, and it's really annoying, because I play sports, I work out. I run straight for the bathroom. This man is like, if I don't make him take a shower, he's like, I'm fine. I'm like, no, go take a fucking shower, bro.
But is that a England thing? Is that
Maybe, it's just white people shit. White people shit.
White people shit. Just because you look white don't mean you clean.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt somewhere.
His parents take like 3 showers a day, so he didn't get it from them. That's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure. But yeah, he clean.
But some people like the smell. Like, okay, so I went to like a bare leather pool party yesterday, right? Because I get invited to the weirdest shit, right?
Girl.
It's not that it's weird, but it's like you don't invite a lesbian to it, but they do because they love me, right? And there was a little bit of a smell. Okay, and it wasn't like ratchet, but there was a little bit of a smell to some of the boys, and people liked this.
So
like,
fresh.
And other boys like said that they love that. Yes, they like that.
They do like it. See, I like it. I just like it on my man. I don't like it on a stranger.
Okay.
Especially when it's rank. Like if you come after the gym, you're probably even if you're a stranger, if you come right after the gym but you showered before, I think I'm good with that.
Okay, there's a certain level of rank that you're okay getting.
Yeah,
but then
bro.
There's another una petecita, a little
like beta for like you know when you're like you know when you do that your nose starts to twitch, you're like ugh, that's what I don't like.
So there's a thing like I call it a full face, right? And it basically is like you look like you smell the fart, right? So it goes something like this. Okay, because you smell the fart, right? So that's the full face. So that's different. That's another level of stank.
So that's one stank. The other stank, I'm gonna get canceled. One stank is, you know, when you're in line at like in Disney, like there's like an hour and a half like wait line, whatever. You ever get a whiff of armpit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like looking around and everyone's trying to like figure out who that is. That's rank shit that people like at the pool party.
Okay.
It's rough. It's like onions meets cabbage.
No!
Yeah. Like at 180 degrees.
No!
With like drips of sweat. You know? So this is what happens, people. I'm short, right? But I don't know why I started with that. Problem is that I'm short. So all the men like to do this, right? So this part right
is
here
right on your
stays on my shoulder now. And so for the rest of the fucking party, I'm doing this. In fact, one day at Miami Beach Pride, I had a bartender pour Bacardi all over my shoulder so I can get rid of that smell. That's how bad that shit was.
Oh my God, I never thought about that
some of y'all
because of
are
your
fucked up.
height. Like, I was just happy that you're the height of my titties, so you can always motorboat me. I never thought about the fact that it would be more armpit size.
I get armpit all here, man.
And then
here.
you smell a little pestecita and it's you.
If it's
And
like, the thing is, I don't mind if it's man smell, like that musk. Like,
yeah. There's a difference between man smell and stank. Like, there's a difference between you went to the gym, like he said, you took a shower beforehand, you have a little bit of sweat smell. There's a difference between the caked on week full of not bathing. Like,
Yes.
you know the difference.
Bro, and there's some people that look like they bathe, so I think they just shower and skip this shit.
On purpose?
On purpose, yeah. And the thing is like, what else do you skip, bitch? Because when I take you home and I find out that you missed another crack,
Listen.
I'll be real upset.
Listen, that ball area has a lot of little areas that can hide stink.
Especially if they big
And hairy.
and hairy.
Oh, the visuals. All right, let's move on so I can get the hairy
But now
balls.
I'm horny. What the hell just
I
happened?
gotta get those hairy balls out of my head now. Holy shit. All right, let's start talking some shit. Okay, so first, Renee Rapp celebrated Pride Month with a playful twist at Them's Now Awards in Brooklyn last month. While accepting the award for music from Muna lead singer Katie Gavin, she started by mentioning, quote, "I agree with perfect ass and face," end quote, and then praised Katie Gavin for both. Rapp also joked, quote, "I'm actually straight. This is my coming out," end quote. But then she quickly clarified, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not fucking boring, end quote. Watch this.
So I've actually come up here to announce that I'm actually straight. This is my coming out.
Renee Rapp comes out as straight. Yeah, sure. What are we all talking about? Do you think do you agree with like what she's saying about how, because I agree, that like, you know, we are much more interesting than straight people? I mean, straight people are great. We all came from them, you know?
I mean, yeah, no, you know, I'm trying not to get canceled today. Man, God damn it. Man, straight, let me tell you something. Some of my favorite people are straight, so I'm trying to be nice. But they can be boring as fuck, especially when they get pregnant, bitch. Like 4 of my favorite straight people are pregnant right now. Y'all are boring right now. Oh, you can't go out because you're pregnant. Oh, you can't do a bump because you're pregnant. Like, bitch. Boring asshole.
With the belly. Come on, just a quick bump. I mean, it's not gonna do shit.
We got a filter between here and the baby.
You're fine. You're fine. No, but that happens a lot to us.
Yes.
You know, in Queerville, that we have straight friends.
Yeah.
You know, that have to procreate, right? That's what
Yeah.
they have to do.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. Even they say they're boring. They're like, oh, I'm so bored because they can't hang over here at Wilton and be with us.
I think because, okay, again, some of the freakiest people on earth are straight white people,
Yeah,
all right?
yep.
Okay, but they keep that shit behind closed doors and they don't let people know about it. If they were more open about...
Yeah. Well, not my straight people.
your straight people.
My straight people are gay as hell. Man, they
But
say
that's why
it
they're
all.
around. But that's why
I
they're
know.
your straight people.
That's yeah, you're right. You're
You know
right
what I
about
mean?
that.
Like, your straight people are they're different. They're the ones that are going to vote for someone that doesn't want us dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
do you have other straight people in your life that are like the Trumpers and like
Yeah.
are people you don't talk about certain things with?
Yeah, like my family. like my brothers. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, like, it's funny because I came out in this today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking out the door and I told Chris, I was like, yo, it's crazy where we live that I can walk out looking like this, you know, and not feel weird. But if I did this in my mom's neighborhood, it would be a problem.
Yeah, well,
it would be a problem.
your mom lives in Miami and you live
Yeah.
in Wilton Manor, so there's
Yeah.
a big difference.
That's boring.
I posted on my social media last 2 weeks ago about a billboard that was on the Palmetto and 60 something or 50 something.
What it
that
said?
it said, "Dile no a los dictadores, dile no a Trump."
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, say no to dictators, say
Yeah.
no to Trump, right? And
Sure.
the Cubans are up in arms about it, you know?
Oh, right. Okay,
How
okay.
dare,
okay.
how dare you,
Right. Yeah.
say that, you know, the man that's going to lead our country into the best future ever, how dare you compare him to Fidel, you know?
Yeah, which sounds boring too, right? like we're not there anymore. And let me not get canceled, bro. You're getting me fucked up. We're not there anymore, but it is boring that you keep considering kind of this old-fashioned, antiquated kind of thought process, and you move it into our future, knowing that it's not the same. Like,
Yeah.
you're only kind of pushing that rhetoric because it feels good to create that the divisiveness. Because what you may think is fun or what you think is right is only creating a problem for everyone else. Whereas we only want the best. We're like, no, hold up. These are the things that we want to say because we know that this is going to do good.
Yeah.
Where anything that they say is for the harm's sake, right? It's always like fear mongering.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Remember dictators? Remember this shit? Remember how bad it was in Cuba?
Remember how bad it was? Yeah.
Right. Where we're like, no, remember how good you have it now, girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where our shit kind of, our thought process changed. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's what makes you boring, huh?
That's what makes you boring. So stop being boring.
I was trying to wrap it around to make it look like I was getting it back into the boring segment. Because it is. It's kind of off-putting that you're always just trying to like make me feel bad about some shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like, like, again, last month was Pride Month, and then you see certain posts from people. How come we don't have straight pride?
Yo, straight pride is crazy to me, dog. Like, yo, you got that shit every day, home. What is you talking about?
The world is straight pride.
Yo.
Dios mío.
And what are you gonna have there? Budweiser and cornhole.
And cornhole.
Nice.
And that's it.
That sounds fun
Connect
for you.
Four. One of those weird Jenga things.
You should do it. Connect Four. You should do it.
I mean, you should. You should do it. No one's going to go, but you should do it. Next, Colonel Edward Thomas Ryan, a retired firefighter and decorated Army veteran, has posthumously come out as gay in his own obituary, published by Albany Times-Union. Ryan, who had a 25-year relationship with a man, shared his truth in a heartfelt personal note explaining his lifelong fear of ostracism. He wrote, quote, "I must tell you one more thing. I was gay all my life, through grade school, through high school, college, through life." End quote. Now he can truly rest in peace with his secret finally known. Veteran comes out in his obituary. What are we all talking about?
This is the saddest shit I've ever read. Like, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy for him, right? In his post-mortemness. But yo, this is a great way to go out. This was like, by the way, I'm a homo. Fuck y'all. Because people are reading and going, what? What did I just read? He was a veteran?
He did this? He did that?
No. He started, in it says that he has a bachelor's of arts. And you're like, oh, was he a drama queen? He was like, but I had a bachelor of science. And you're like, oh, was he in finance? He was like, no, bitch, I'm a paramedic or some firefighter. I was like, oh, he was gay, bro. He kept fucking with you. He was like, hold up, like, I wasn't in drama. I was actually in biology.
Yep.
And I'm a paramedic. And I went to war. You know what I mean? This guy was fucking with you your whole life. Nobody knew. And I'm glad he came out. Like, even if it was like after his death, it's a slap in the face. What would yours say? Do you know what yours would say? No. Would you want to slap somebody in the face with it?
No, because I'm so out. Like to me, okay, we have coming out day, right? And everybody talks about how they came out, right? But I am a true believer that we come out every day.
We
right?
do, yeah.
At every single, even if you leave Wilton for any reason, you've got to explain why you look the way you do.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like you said, it's probably the saddest story we've got because he was never out and his true authentic self. He also had a relationship for 25 years. Is this man still alive? And now?
No, the guy died in 94, so he's been alone for a minute.
Oh,
I don't know when he died. But yeah, the guy died in 94. He's been around for a minute. So he definitely was lonely as fuck, bro.
Yes.
Like nobody lived that life. I don't know where this ability to come out in his obituary came from, because that's you had some balls.
That's
sir.
Major.
Like, that is major. Because like I was rebelling, but every time I get a new job, I have to come out, and that's just hard enough, bro. So he was like, the only way that he was gonna go out was with the truth.
Like, he was not going out without his true self being told, And that's for all those people out there that are like, I don't know any gay people, I don't know any trans people. You do.
Yeah, you do.
Trust me, you do. Okay, you just
facts.
They're just facts.
Yeah. Like,
the stupid study came out once that it was like, 8% of Americans know someone trans. Bullshit. That's 8% that have acknowledged or that someone has come out to you, and told you that they're trans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good story, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's sad, I think it's a good story, bro. I'm sure people around him are gooped, gagged. Like, I'm loving it, so good for him.
Yeah, because his own crew knew. Like, some people knew.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for just would you slap somebody in the face after with your obituary? What are you gonna say?
Yeah.
People know you're gay.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm actually 5'4". Like,
I've been lying to you all along.
This whole time, bitch.
There, mic drop. And I'm dead. Next, Emmy winner Sarah Paulson is halfway to an EGOT after winning her first Tony Award for her role so inappropriate. In her acceptance speech, Paulson gave a heartfelt tribute to her partner, Holland Taylor, saying, quote, "Holland, thank you for loving me," end quote. The couple who began dating in 2015 after Taylor slid into Paulson's DMs, yes, she did, celebrated together as Paulson's acclaimed performance earned her the award. Watch this.
It is humbling to be included in the same breath as Amy Ryan, Rachel McAdams, Betsy Adom, and the great Jessica Lange. I thank the American Theater Wing and the Broadway League for this honor, an abundance of gratitude to Carol Rothman and Second Stage Theater for giving us a home at the Hayes, to our intrepid producers who brought us to the Belasco, Kristen Kasky, B. Carazzini, and everyone at ATG, J.J. Abrams, everyone at Bad Robot Live, I thank you. To our front of house and back of house crews at both theaters, we could not do this without you. Hilda Quealy, Joe Mahota for the rare gift of representation that actually encourages theatrical commitments. Thank you, Alla Plotkin, my publicist in my life for 20 years. I think you wanted this for me more than anyone in this room. Lila Neugebauer, for boundless gratitude for your keen eye and your sure hand. Corey, Michael, Natalie, Ella, Graham, Alyssa, Lincoln, and Everett, you astonish me nightly. You have become my family, and I am never letting you go. Julia Crockett, I am forever in your debt. Holland, thank you for loving me. I am standing here tonight because of the mighty talent that is Brandon Jacobs Jenkins. I will never be able to convey my gratitude to you for trusting me, for letting me hold the hand of Toni Lafayette, a woman you have written who makes no apology, who isn't begging to be liked or approved of, but does hope to be seen. But don't we all?
Sarah Paulson thanks her woman at the Tonys. What are we all talking about? I love me some Sarah Paulson.
I know. I feel like every time I come on the show, we talk about Sarah Paulson.
Really?
Yeah, I am attracting her energy every time I come on here.
Have you seen her and stuff?
American Horror
Story.
Like,
loved her in that.
I think that's where I knew her for the first time, I think.
Nurse Ratched. I liked her in Nurse Ratched.
Nobody liked Nurse Ratched, but I like Nurse Ratched.
I love Nurse Ratched because my wife is a Nurse Ratched. She has like no bedside manner, like at all. Like I had just gotten a double mastectomy and I had fucking tubes hanging from me everywhere. That bitch made me get up like 6 hours later and like walk around the house. Like,
but
awful.
she knew what she
I don't care. I don't care.
She was trying to get you back healthy, girl.
Give me another painkiller. Tell me you love me. Rub my feet and tell me I'm gorgeous.
That'll be me. I'll be pumping you. Yeah. Well, look. You know what's crazy about Sarah Paulson, which maybe you and your girl can. They don't live together, bro.
What?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
They don't live together. She says their relationship works because they have two separate houses. They come stay at each other when they want to, and they got different rooms when they need it, but they don't really sleep together.
That's a great idea.
Like I'm already sleeping in two different rooms in my house.
Okay.
But I can't wait to have two different houses and sleep in two different houses.
Right? Like, we have a lot of like in-law quarters here in South Florida. You could throw, the one that has less clothes in the back and like, which would be you, Teresa, that's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
What it is, like I always, me and my wife will be married 7, 8 years, something like that. Do the math. I don't know, right? At the end of this year. I know, I never remember.
My anniversary's coming up. You know why? Because Chris told me.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying, right? And the reason it works, I think, is because we're both so busy doing our own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we pass through the night. At night, we're there together, we know, but we end up in bed at different times. We wake up at different times. Like, we have a completely different schedule.
Yeah. So you don't really clash.
We clash when we gotta.
Yeah.
That bitch doesn't know how to pick up freaking certain things from the floor. She just doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, the ADD is real. Like, the ADD is real. She leaves me a trail of shit. So her key is here, her jacket's here, a wrapper to something, her Starbucks is here.
That's where you find pussy.
She leaves me a trail. That's how it works. Okay, I gotta find my pussy. Hold on.
That's where you go.
I go with some catnip and I just go and like follow all the shit she leaves me through the house. Like,
see, the thing is about relationships, man, like theirs is great because they don't live together. But like when you live together, you start realizing some shit. And my thing is I'm a mess the night because I'm gonna party, right? I'm gonna be a mess that night. The next morning, I'm picking my shit up, right?
Yeah.
My man will yell about me dropping it that night, dropping clothes on the floor that night. But ask me if he's ever picked up a fucking mop in his life. Or a
It don't look dirty.
Or no, it's just look, the house looks pretty, but it's gross. I'm like, wait a minute, go get a fucking vacuum, dog. He's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
But you're also Cuban, and like
Ugh.
Cuban people, like they have a certain way of like cleaning the house, right? Like I'm used to like you
Saturdays at 6 in the
like,
morning.
You know, I'm used to like you get a bucket, you clean the floor with some water, blah blah. Cubans get a bucket, throw all the water on the floor,
Yes.
it's fucking everywhere.
Yes.
The walls
Yes.
get clean, the dog gets clean,
Yeah.
everything gets clean. That's how they clean. Like it's some crazy Cuban mentality
It is
that like
weird.
you
It
know
is weird. And it's always at weird times of the day, man. It's always waking you up at 6 in the morning on a Saturday.
with music at 6 in the morning on
Yeah.
a Saturday. That's how Latino people do it.
Yeah.
It's-
Anyway,
Sarah
they
Paulson's
figured out.
great.
They figured their
I
thing.
think they figured out a good way to have a relationship.
Yeah.
Live apart, but you also
And
gotta
be
have,
rich, though.
You also gotta have that though, like you know,
Yeah.
South Florida prices. You can't afford 2 Wilton Tower freaking apartments right now.
No,
That's a
no,
lot,
it's
you
a
know.
lot. Yeah, it's a
I
lot.
can't afford 2 Miami houses, so. Move somewhere that in-law
Soon.
quarters. You know what I wanted to do also? You know how in Miami they do like theater stuff in containers? I want to buy a
Oh, yeah.
container and put it in the back of the house and make it the
That's what-
in-law quarters. Maybe.
Okay, my brother kind of did that.
Did he?
In like Central Florida, he got a container, which I thought he was going to live in,
Mm-hmm.
but he ended up getting a motorhome instead. But now he has a container and a motorhome, and he has like a whole area to put like all his toys, like his motorcycles and all that bullshit, in the container, and then they have a motorhome. So essentially, you have a whole ass like 2 acres of land with just 2 little blocks on it. And if you wanted to leave, you could just turn on the motorhome and leave.
Right, and turn on
take
the other thing and attach it to
take
that
it to
and
something.
buy.
Yeah. Oh
Love
man.
that. I wish relationships were like that. That you just brought your shit and then okay, bye, we're over. Then you just gotta latch it on.
No,
get the fuck
that
out.
was me. We're not doing that anymore. Okay, don't trigger me. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're keeping this one.
We're keeping this one. We're not doing it
keeping this
anymore.
one.
That's it. Next, Bob the drag queen. I know you're just so trying not to get canceled.
And divorced.
And divorced all at the same time. Next, Bob the drag queen, season 8 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, had a hilarious moment during a stand-up show when a woman named Taylor heckled him. Bob invited Taylor on stage and effortlessly outshone her knowledge of fashion. Taylor, nervously revealing her American Eagle outfit, was playfully roasted by Bob, who quipped about her shoes looking like they were from Gladiator and her makeup outshining her hair. Bob humorously praised Taylor's bravery for wearing an Amazon skirt while standing next to Bob's custom-made ensemble. The audience loved the banter. Watch this.
What's your name, baby?
Hello, Queen. My name is Taylor.
Taylor. Hey, Taylor. And what's your question?
I saw you in January and you looked fierce.
Not January 6th. Not January 6th. Not. You need to be more specific, Taylor, when you speak. Taylor said, I saw you in January. I saw you in January, bitch. And I look.
Sorry, there's a point to this.
Okay, here we go.
Do you have an excuse for your pants this evening?
What's wrong with my pants? Well, but it's all this. We have to look at your outfit. Come on down, Taylor. You better be dressed to the nines. No, come on down here. Come on down. I can't wait to see this fucking disaster. There we go. Okay, now where'd you get this from?
Okay, this is from American Eagle on sale.
We can tell. Continue.
I'm so nervous.
Did you borrow these shoes from Russell Crowe from the set of Gladiator?
Because I plan to be in the fight between
Elon Musk and what's his face?
Got it. I do love your makeup. Did you run out of time before you did your hair? Or did you just I'm just asking because your makeup does look quite stunning.
It's really funny you ask. I had the nice lady who does my nails do my hair today real quick for my birthday.
Some people can't do 2 things, you know. I think she does nails. I think her thing is nails. I don't think she's a multi-hyphenate, as the kids say. What's your what birthday are you celebrating?
Well, it's like number?
You want me to guess? Are you younger than me? Don't be weird.
Just a couple years.
Because
You look younger than I do, though.
I'm only wearing 45 pounds of makeup. And you two could look young with 2 hours of makeup in a custom suit. Now, in this is I love this Grecian. Is this House of Bezos? This skirt? It is. Who'd you come with?
Wait, I did get this on Amazon. Oh my God.
Listen. Imagine coming to a show wearing a skirt from Amazon. Imagine sitting in the shadows in a dress from Amazon that showed up at your house in a plastic bag. And then looking at a stunning queen in a custom gold suit. You're brave. You're very brave. I appreciate it. Who'd you come with tonight?
Oh, my friends back there. They came to celebrate my birthday.
Oh, they've left you. They're like,
Don't you ever heckle Bob the drag queen dressed like that. What are we all talking about?
Yeah, I find it interesting that people can like heckle. I mean, even though he said, what's the question? But that was definitely heckling. Like, you don't want to try someone who is in a custom gold, like, with 45 pounds of makeup, by the way.
Yes.
And then wear that shit. She didn't look that bad. She looked pretty cute, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't
from here.
horrible. I've seen worse.
From here. But I don't think you should be heckling people like that. I'm an artist, so I get very triggered. I'm like, nah, I'm not saying anything that's like degrading to someone on stage.
Okay,
It
that makes
pissed me
sense.
off.
No,
Yeah.
but that makes sense because you're an artist, you know? Like
Yeah.
when you're going to perform, your outfit is part of your presentation. It's part of your singing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
important to you.
Yeah, that was rough. That was tough to watch. But he read that bitch to Phil.
To Phil. Listen, I think put in that same predicament, which I would never heckle a drag queen because I know better.
Yeah.
I was
Also
raised
that.
by drag queens. I know better, right? But at that moment when Bob the drag queen said, "Come on up," I would have turned my happy lesbian ass around and booked. All right, and that would have been the end of that. There's no way you would have gotten me on stage for her to get me in her territory. You crazy?
Yeah, this bitch obviously has never been around a drag queen. Like she didn't know better.
No.
Like, and the thing is, you can read too. Like, you're not afraid of going toe to toe with Bob the drag queen.
Nah.
I don't think, at least.
No.
But you still wouldn't do it.
Nah.
This bitch did not know any better. And now I feel bad for her now I think about it.
No, and
like
that's
she
why-
probably cried.
I hope so. And then this going viral. And then again, that bitch won't heckle somebody ever again. All right? It'll be the worst
No.
stand-up ever. She'll be like, he's great. Let's just be quiet.
He was like, bitch, you're heckling my pantsuit when your skirt came in a plastic bag.
An Amazon!
Yo.
Oh, man. No, that was a good one. I love you, Bob the drag
I
queen.
love Bob.
Next, comedian Tig Notaro appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to chat about her hilarious Wheel of Fortune blunder. Tig humorously guessed crashing my exorcist bill instead of exercise bike. Watch this.
This is the puzzle. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was a puzzle.
Yes. Now that's so you crashing my.
Do you want to know what I said?
Yeah. It must be crashing my exercise bike.
Well,
Let's see what you said.
Tig.
Crashing my exorcist bill. Can we edit my guess out? Crashing my exorcist bill. That is the answer. I'm not going to be humiliated on national television.
It's too late for that.
Now, what was?
thank you.
What was going through your? What was going through your head at the moment?
Well, first of all, I was thinking I never imagined I'd be on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Second of all,
I love Tig Notaro. Tig messes up Wheel in the best way. What are we all talking about?
I don't know. I probably would have said the same thing.
My exorcist bill? You got a big bill?
Exorcist. No, it was more like, I was probably triggered as well. I'm getting triggered today. It was because I thinking of like the don't say gay bill. I was like, that's an exorcist bill. Because when I read that bill, I was having an out of body experience. I figured I needed an exorcist too. I don't know. I probably would have said the same thing. I feel bad, but I also feel like aligned with her.
Right? Like maybe she has a lot of exorcisms in her house. I mean, she says she's got kids. Kids be crazy. Sometimes you think they got like some kind of spirit in them.
Oh, I think
you know?
everything. By the way, I think everything is a spirit. I used to be a paranormal investigator, but I thought,
What? Wait, you were a paranormal investigator.
Yes. Although I was
different kind of PI.
Yeah, I was skeptical, but also like if something moved, I was like, hello? I bought everything. Yeah, because you get caught up in it, and then everything becomes like psychological, and you think, man, no, I'm having a bad day because yo tengo muerto. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
But so, and again, I believe in supernatural. I believe that there's more to life than just us. I believe in energies, right? But I've never. Like, I stayed at the Biltmore. They say that the Biltmore is haunted here in South Florida.
Yes.
I stayed in the Intrepid in New York. They say that that's also, I stayed overnight in that fucking place, and it was scary as shit. But it was just my friends fucking with me at the other side making noises.
Always.
Like,
it's always
like
that.
the Ouija board. No, I didn't move it. No, I didn't. You moved it.
No,
Somebody moved it.
No, the fucking Ouija board. Do not fuck with the Ouija board. That shit's real. It's real. It's real. But usually when you hear noises and stuff, it's someone taking a shit and flushing the toilet or air conditioning turning on.
Yes.
It's never that bad.
Yes.
But the Ouija board, do not fuck with the Ouija board. That shit's real. Yeah, it's real, bro. I'll tell you stories on another show about that.
Okay.
Maybe on a Halloween episode.
Okay, we'll talk about it. All right. We've got a Dear Faye that I'm going to need your help with, so give me 1 second on that, all right? So the FayWhat show is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 40 years, and Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. So next at the FayWhat show, we need to help my gay boys. I'm all about helping my gay boys. And in our segment called Dear Faye, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing sort of gay boy to help my fellow gay boys, all right? And I will be using Jonathan Casañas' help this week, okay? So this week, it is Find My Boyfriend. My boyfriend wants to find me. Something like that. All right. He sent me an email. All right. Let's see that, okay? Dear Faye, love you, love the show. My partner of 6 months casually suggested that we share each other's location on the iPhone Find My app. When I asked why, he looked surprised and said it would be fun. He went on to say it helps to better plan when it comes to timing and meeting in various places, since you can see where the other person is. He used an example of how when he cooks dinner for us, it would be helpful to know how far away I was from his place so he could time the meal accordingly. So I get all that, but to me, this feels like a breach of privacy. I'm not hiding anything, but I also feel like it's creepy that someone can watch my every move on an app. Some things I just like to keep for myself. I told him I'd think about it, but I'm worried if I say no, he'll think I'm up to something shady when I'm not. At the same time, I don't feel comfortable doing it. How should I handle this? Find my location. My boyfriend wants my location. All right. What are you doing?
Hello, babe. Babe, did you message FayWhat about our location, bitch? Yo,
did Chris want that?
Yes!
You're lying.
I swear to God. And
okay.
We shared each other's location. And do you know how many times I've gotten in trouble already? Do not do it, bro. Run. Break up with the guy. Break up with the guy. Break up with the guy.
And they only have a couple of months. Like, you are
break up. Yeah, 5 years. Break up with the guy. Leave. No, we don't. That's it. We have a rule now.
Okay.
We don't look at each other's phones. We don't have each other's passcodes. We don't look at each other's Instagram. Like, we better be forthcoming should anything come up, right? If some guy comes up to me and says some shit like, it was fun last night, I better have told Chris. Right?
Beforehand.
That shit can't be a shocker.
Yes.
You can't.
Because that's the agreement. That's the agreement. So.
But Find My Location, we do have on still. And it was a mistake. It was a mistake, bro. I bought him a phone now that he's in this country. I bought him a phone, and apparently our fucking plans are linked. And so Find My phone was already there. So it's not that he asked me, but now we can't take it off, bitch, because it's there. But the only agreement we have is not to look at each other's phones. But guess what, bitch? If I go somewhere, he's like, why are you there?
Why are you at Alibi when you said that you were going to go to Hunter's? I mean,
okay,
literally.
so not to that extent, but yes, that's already happened. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was already a dicey night and we're pissed, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going with my boys to Gym Bar.
Yeah.
And he was like, I thought you were going to Gym Bar, bitch.
Why are you at Johnson's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that, right?
Bro, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's really bad, bro. It's really bad for your psyche. And if he has a problem with the no, say that you don't have a problem with it. Why should he? It's fair if you don't have a location on him, so you can have a sense of privacy and you have your own time, man. If you want to go to Starbucks and just think, you should have that privacy in that moment to be able to do that.
That's true. Okay, so my answer to him, look at him. He is really stressing, right?
Look at
Listen, okay, so dude, having your very own boyfriend GPS has both pros and cons. So it's really up to each couple to figure out what works best for them. But don't forget, a couple is also made up of two individuals. And it's okay if you're not on the same page as your partner is. You know, your thought about privacy seems a bit weird to me. You know, having your location monitored can feel like overstepping a boundary, especially if you're not 100% on board with it.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a world that's yours without sharing every moment of your day with him. Allowing someone to track you is letting them fully into your life, which is a very intimate thing. If you're not ready to take that step or honor that, just as someone shouldn't be pressured into moving in with someone, like, for example, you lesbians, right? Before they're ready. You know, my other thought is, you know, what's behind the location sharing that matters? You know, if your partner was suggesting it as a way to control you or keep you in line to make sure you're not cheating or whatever, that's certainly not fucking healthy at all, okay? Relationships are built on trust first and foremost, and spying is certainly not going to help that relationship. Or if a couple feels anxious without knowing every little thing their partner is doing, that might lean more towards codependency, which is also not ideal in a relationship, okay? Your partner says he just wants to use it for fun or for practical purposes. Still, it might not be a step that you're ready to take, especially after just 6 months, bro. You know, I really want you to trust your feelings and verbalize them. Explain that you're not comfortable with opening yourself up like that. You know, maybe you're comfortable opening yourself up other ways, but not like that. You know, if your man has a problem with this, that might be a red flag, as he should just want to respect your feelings. You know, who knows? Maybe he's not the one for you.
Yeah.
But really, like, stick to your guns, man. Your own space is your own space, and you don't got to tell everybody where you're at all the time. You know, thank you so much for the email, and keep them coming, right? I'm going to tell you how to turn that off.
Dude.
I'm gonna tell you how to. Wow.
I'm very interested to know, like, why he wanted the location or why he didn't want the location specifically. Because if the other person is asking for a location, then you think he is either projecting or
he's cheating. I think he's cheating.
Right?
Oh, I hope he's not still watching. Sorry about that, dude. I think the guy's
Thank you for your
already.
email.
Thank you for your email. I think the guy's already cheating. So it's like, hey, let me know when you're on your way home to get this dude out.
Yo, but no, the one that got me fucked up was he was like, because if I'm cooking, I want to know how far you are. Can't pick that asshole, bro. Can't pick that
Because I want that beef Wellington to sit perfectly until you arrive, bitch. You know, because that grilled cheese sandwich just really needs to be cut at the right time when you arrive. You know, the Chef Boyardee that I'm making for you needs to be on point.
Meal, yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, Jonathan Casañas, for being in bed with me again. I love you, baby.
Course.
Oh my goodness.
I love you.
Can I eat your feet now?
You can eat my ass, bitch. Oh, I forgot we're on TV.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you, Jonathan Casañas, for joining me in bed. I love him. Make sure you follow him on all social media. One huge log name. He's got so much going on, and he's just adorable at doing everything he does. Him and Chris are they're so much fun to watch. He does these dorky little videos with him that are just funny as shit. I mean, and they always keep me with a cliffhanger, where it's like, I want more. What happened when you guys went to the bathroom? Anyway, make sure you follow him, all right? All right. Did you know that the Happening Out Television Network studios are located at Sunshine Cathedral Square, which also houses Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church located in Fort Lauderdale. We broadcast our Sunday service every week at 10:30 a.m. podcast is presented by viewers like you and the generous support by Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun. About my guest today. You folks get to meet the incredible Nikki Lopez. She's an Afro-Latina lesbian artist, curator, and social entrepreneur. She's the founder of What's Your Elephant, a nonprofit that uses art to address taboo topics. Nikki has been honored with so many awards that if I started naming them all right now, we'd take up the whole hour of the show. But I'm going to mention some because these accolades are important, right? The Louis E. Peters Memorial Service Award and the Broward County Arts and Culture Visionaries Award. She also got a Philanthropy Award from the R Fund a couple of months back. She is a pioneer in her field and believes in challenging social norms by being the change she wants to see in the world. This interview is everything to me because I've been trying to get Nikki in bed forever. Forever. And to all those people out there that are dating Nikki right now, I have her in bed. Nikki, welcome to the FayWhat Show, Mama. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I know you're a busy girl. You're busy.
Yes.
It's a blessing, though, right?
Absolutely.
I love your vibe. I love your style. You know, like you exude energies that draw folks to you. You know that, though.
Yes, I've been, yes.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of.
You know, because I didn't know sometimes, but yeah, I think it's part of my evolution of just really owning the spaces that I'm in. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there were times when I didn't realize that, you know, so I just, you know, I was in the corner, in the background.
Growing up, were you like that? You're so talented artistically. Like you do a lot of different things. Like, were you like that growing up?
I've always been creative since I was a baby, right? And my grandmother, rest in peace, you know, she had some artwork of mine that she gave me several years ago. So it had like, I used to draw what they call the coconut head people. It had these round faces and the big dresses and big red lips, right? And the back of it, it says 25 cents, but for today only is 10 cents.
Look at you. Always trying to do a deal, right? Nikki trying to be a hustler at 10. I drew this. It took me an hour, all right? If you buy it in the next 10 seconds, it's half price.
Exactly. So I guess I always had that entrepreneur spirit. I always want to be an artist. Like, I remember as a child, I had a long list of things and I would actually, you know, I'm grateful because sometimes when I think about, you know, being, you know, little Nikki writing this list of all these things, there's so many of those things that I've done. Now, I haven't done tap dancing, but you know, that's on the list. Yeah. But I actually do, during the pandemic, I bought me some tap shoes because I was like, you know, that would be something to get into just as a hobby. Because, you know, I'm like, can I just have a hobby without making it a mission?
Right? Well, okay, but that's a good question. Can you? Because you're very driven. Like you get in it. Like, I'm intentional about your shit. You know, like if you're gonna be a tap dancer, you're gonna be the best freaking tap dancing queer ever.
Yes, absolutely. And taking up space. Like, you know, I'm adult learn to swim. Right. But then I'm a part of diversity in aquatics. Right. So it's just like I want to do these things. But at the same time, when I go into spaces and I see the disparity or I see the need or I connect to that, I feel like, what can I do to change that? What can I do? Because I feel like, you know, everyone has something that they can do, big or small.
Yes.
And for me, I like to, you know, really be the change I want to see in the world. I don't want to just inspire people. I want to motivate people. Like, okay, if she could do it, I could do these things, right? Or I like to highlight and talk to people that are doing different things, right? You know, and so it's important to me because I feel like if everyone had that, I'm very intentional. I'm big on integrity, intentionality, purpose, action. Action, taking action, not just sitting around
talking about it, right? Like I said, don't talk about it, be about it kind of thing, right?
And I feel like imagine if everyone in this world felt I feel obligated to do one action. You know, one action of positive good, one action that benefits other than me, or how can I use my, you know, what I've gone through, or how can I use my space, my platform, my time, my talent, my skills to help in some way.
Yeah.
We'd be so much further along
We would
in
be
life.
so much further along in life, even in LGBTQ. We would be so
Absolutely.
further away. You know, I'm constantly screaming for Black and Brown LGBTQ plus rights as a Latina. You know, and I consider you an advocate too. You do so much.
Yeah.
But in that, you're also an advocate. You're always representing so much. You know, how important is it for you to see us be us as two Black and brown lesbians in bed talking, you know, about your life and how you got to here?
I think it's extremely important, right? You know, because even within our LGBT community, I'm also pushing boundaries there, right? Because we tell heterosexual people, respect us for who I am. I say I'm this, you have to honor it.
Yes.
But then we get it within our own communities and we want to box people. Oh, you're a lesbian, you have to be this type of lesbian. This is what it means to be non-binary. This is what it means to be trans. And so, you know, for me, I feel like we should also take a little bit of our own medicine and allow people to be who they are. Like for me, there's a lot of times when I say Afro-Latina, it's important to me.
Yeah.
First of all, there were times, especially because I'm a brown-skinned Afro-Latina, right? And because of other circumstances, my mom's side speaks Spanish. You know, I have Panama, Cuba, Jamaica, Cubans on both sides. So
that should be interesting.
Yeah. Right?
You got some loud ass people in your family.
Right? Oh
Straight
my
up.
gosh, right? And so for me, there were times, especially because I didn't grow up speaking the language. And back in like the 80s and stuff, like it wasn't, you know, telenovelas, they only have the more Hispanic looking Latin people.
Yeah.
So instead of, you know, instead of being challenged about where'd you get the Lopez from, which ironically, the Lopez is from my Jamaican dad, but his parents were Cubans that went to Jamaica and stayed. So, you know, so there were times I had to learn to embrace my culture and stand fully in, like, I am Latin, and especially like in South Florida, right? I am so tired of other Latin people. They're the first ones to be like, oh, so where'd you get the Lopez from? You know, who married? And so I have to say, we come in these shades. Stop playing.
Yes, we do.
Now, your country might have tried to annihilate the shades that we are.
That part.
But, you know, so to me, there's everything about me has always been intentional, purpose, advocating, you know, being proud to say Afro-Latina, being proud to say lesbian or queer or saying she, her, they, or just, you know, just taking up those spaces. And it's not like, oh, it just comes naturally to me, right? It's been a part of my journey, my evolution. But to me, it's important because to me, if I take up space and get comfortable in who I am, it allows other people to do the same.
It's true. It's true. I mean, you have no idea who's watching you wherever you go, and you're so out there, you know, that like that one little Black or brown queer girl is like, I could leave my hair how it is. I can be who I want to be. I could put on makeup or not put on makeup, and I'm still who I am.
Yeah. Even within the Black communities, right? You have colorism, right? Or the hair texture, pelo malo.
Pelo malo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even I have family members, why if you're Panamanian, why is your hair thick? And I'm like, I have different types of hair, but then I'm like, you know what? I don't have to prove
Why do I have to explain myself to you? You want my DNA? Here's my heritage, bitch. Like, come on.
Exactly. So it's just like, you know, so to me, all of those things is a part of my journey of embracing all of those things. There were times in my youth where I wouldn't say, you know, even down to my nickname's Nikki. I use Nikki, right? But I was born Nicole. So don't ask me why a Jamaican man and a Panamanian woman chose a French way to spell my name. So it's Nicole with an H. And I was just like, can't I just fucking fit in somewhere, right?
Nope, they wanted to make you as different as possible.
Exactly. So
But it's beautiful.
I know, but it's just like there was a time when I was little, I would leave the H out, right? So part of when I embrace who I am and I'm growing, I'm always evolving, you know, is embracing all those things.
Every part of you.
Every part of me, right? Because I can't leave any of that out. The good, the bad, the ugly. But yeah, when I think back at like, dag, I knew I had an H in my name, but because instead of being teased about it or explaining it, I just left the H out. And so it's important to me, if I'm spelling my name, to put the H. It's important to me to say, yep, Afro-Latina, lesbian, Black, you know, a Black person say, do you consider yourself Black? I'm like, how do you say Afro-Latina?
And not consider yourself Black.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And And how do you like navigate that, Nick? Because you want to be a good advocate, right?
Yes.
And you also like, we're here to teach.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're constantly evolving, and at least for me, I want to constantly learn. I never want to get to the point where I'm like, I know it all, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's when you stop living. That's when you stop growing, you know?
Absolutely.
So people are going to ask dumb shit.
Yes.
Right? And they're going to catch you on that one day for me that I didn't have enough coffee or my wife pissed me off, right? And they're just going to ask on the wrong day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I'm very proud that, you know, I have a nice percentage of me that's Nigerian. Obviously, you can't tell by looking at me.
That part, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so you never know what someone is made up of, and they should be proud of every percentage of what they're of that makes them up.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And I think there's some things that I say and there's some things that I am, right? So like there's certain things that I'll advocate vocally, and just there's certain things it's just like you know, in the spaces that I occupy and the things that I do and the way that I wear my clothes or dress or whatever have you. And so it is important to embrace all those things, and we can't judge a book by its cover because you never know. I mean, it used to hurt me. And then it's like a joke, right? I was a part of this LGBT organization years ago. I'm on the board. You know, I was the board, the photographer, the graphic designer,
whatever they needed, you were doing.
I was doing it, right? And so now, yes, granted, I did have a child naturally, whatever have you, right? But we were having a board meeting, and the one person said, "Oh, Nikki's such an ally," and I was just like. But this is the problem within our community, right? Because how are you LGBT advocates? And that's more a reflection on her, not me, right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't ask. So you just assumed. And now, granted, at the time, I did have a boyfriend and a child. But I've been a part of LGBT stuff. I mean, even back 20 years ago when I used to live in Atlanta, right? Going to Pride and all those things. But it's just like we don't ask people. We don't allow people to define who they are really.
Yeah.
Right? If they don't fit in a little nice box, if they don't, even within, you have black, lesbian, right? It's all this war against masculine, feminine. Yeah. I'm in some groups and I get kicked out sometimes.
Get out, Nikki.
Yes,
Get
because
out.
they were like, "Oh, look at this stud for stud," and I'm like, "Isn't the point that it's two women? That at that point, whatever those two women want to do, however they want to present, however they want to, it's if we're together, then we figure out, okay, what do you want to do? The garbage, the dishes, the this, or that,
exactly.
We have to figure it out. It's not about I wear a bow tie, so that means I have to do this.
You have to be the masculine. You have to go take out the trash just because you wear a bow tie.
And that's not really doing the work.
It's not.
That's that's disregarding one social norm for another social norm and heteronormative, right?
While you're trying to advocate, right? While you're trying to advocate for this same community.
While you're advocating, you turn into you go home, and then you want to perpetuate the same heteronormative standards, and then some of that. I mean, not to go so deep, right? And it's interesting. There was this one lady. She gave a panel on it, and she traced back. How Black people within the LGBT have this whole, heteronormative, like it's like got them in a chokehold, right? She traced it back to slavery, right? And not being seen and wanting to fly under the radar. But it's just like, it's interesting. Yeah, passing, right? Yeah. So to me, I felt like I picked that up. And so sometimes I'm in these groups and they say some ignorant thing and I feel like, I don't know why I feel like that. Let me give you some. Here we go. Let me give you some links.
like when I was about to get into a fight in high school. Let me take off my earrings. Let me put on some Vaseline.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But I feel like, no, this is ignorant.
But you have to. You have to tell them, okay?
If not me, then who?
You have to, because somebody else won't come up. Listen, there's more unlearning than there is learning to do for some people.
Absolutely.
And people can't even wrap their head around the fact that they need to unlearn some shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I have been told to my face that I'm not a real lesbian because I'm always dressed up. In what world? What? Like, how? Like, I'm out there fighting for all of us and fighting for you. And it's like, come on, like Maya Angelou said, like, if you're out there fighting for one woman, you're out there fighting for all women. And how is it that you're not going to ask?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that you mentioned you're a mom, okay?
Yes.
Because I didn't want to blow up that spot either. And I think that you must be the best mom, like, in life, right? So you're a mom. How do you navigate what's going on in Florida right now when you have someone that you have brought into the world having to deal with what this governor is putting us under?
It's hard, but I think first of all, if you're a person of color, right? If you're a black mom, you already got to navigate stuff racially anyway, right?
Yes.
I remember one year, just to take back a little, several years ago, my son was he's 15 now, taller than me, even in heels, and proud of it. And he's like, how's Marley? I'm like, he's still taller than me. He won't shrink.
keep on growing, and he wears higher and higher heels to be bigger.
Yeah, right. So, he was I think he was in kindergarten or first grade. And for the first time, now, mind you, his father is multiracial, right? Cameroon, he's Paris, his mom's white, the father's black, and my son, like, if you ask him when he was little what color someone, he'll be like, oh, beige, pink, whatever. There was this one girl, she was really butchy. He called her a boy, and she was fine with it, right? Mm-hmm. And so kids are innocent that way, and they just take things as face value. Like, we teach them to hate. Yeah. But he went to school during Black History Month, and he came back to me crying because he said he didn't want to be a slave. And I was like, what? He's around so many different, I was livid, right? Because I said, you're not a slave. And he said, yes, I am. And I said, no, you're not, Marley. You're not a slave, right?
Wow.
So I had to roll up my mom's sleeves and go to the school and talk to the teacher. Now, his regular teacher happened to be absent. So it wasn't a teacher that I had a rapport with. They had a substitute. And she said, we didn't say that. I said, whatever you told my 5-year-old, he came home and said, I don't want to be a slave. And so my problem is with Black history in the schools, they only want to talk about, slavery and above, right?
Yeah,
they don't want to talk about the greatness.
The good stuff that came out of slavery.
Yes. So to me, if you're Black already, you already deal with that, right? And when he would go to school when he was younger, and I would say, hey, is anybody bullying you? No. Are you being, are you bullying anybody? No. Do you see someone bullying someone? And I have to tell him. So to me, as a Black person, you're already, people that's aware. You already have to go in and add to whatever education that the child is getting, right? So I have to, I would tell him, like, there was times, I think, unfortunately, he never got teased in school. He got teased from another family member, about me being gay.
Okay.
Right? And he was really upset, and I was upset because, and the mom was like, oh, kids will be kids. And I said, no. That's unacceptable. Yeah. That's his family. That's because you're saying that it's okay. So it's frustrating, to know that, and things are getting so misconstrued. Like, there was a family member was talking. They're like, "Oh, the gay agenda. What gay agenda?" I said, "I've been in GSA, meetings for years. There used to be a group of us with Dee Palazzo back in the day, and we would meet at schools, and it was like a monthly thing where everybody said what they did, what they got going on, what they needed, right? And so, because of the organization I was with and just the group of people, we used to attend these things." And I'm like, no one is going in and saying, okay, straight kids, you got to be gay, right?
No one.
What they're saying is, okay, kids, not everybody has a mom and dad.
Yes.
Some people have 2 moms. Some people have 2 dads. Some people may have 3 moms. We're not,
Yeah.
So, and to me, especially as a Black person now, I know it's very tricky, right? Because you can't compare LGBT to being Black, right? Because someone could be gay and you don't see that. When you're Black, you see that,
see it. Mm-hmm.
right? You can't hide it. But the thing is, the same way at some point, in schools, they didn't want to see a Black kid and a white kid together, right? Mm-hmm. And so at some point, that was abnormal. And it had to be normalized. Yeah. So to me, it's just like, you have to fight against it. If he comes home, I talk to my son, we talk about a lot of things, right? Because I went through a lot of things, and I didn't have someone to tell me that I have ownership of my body and my voice and this is that. And I give him a lot of autonomy, and he knows, like, he's really funny. There's some people who could come and they could hug him up and he's fine. And other people, he was just like, and I let him do it, right?
Yeah.
Because as long as he's
not being rude about it. Yeah, of course.
Right, but sometimes there's a reason, because kids pick up on stuff. So to me, it's just like, to constantly be in contact and communication with him, and to let him know, it's okay. Like, to be honest, right? Because he's getting to that teenage year. So, like, I always have to go back in and check, right? Because I want him to become the Our Fun Award, the philanthropy award. And I was like, I want my son to be there, right? Because Like, well, first, there's a lot of things that I do. I mean, it's funny sometimes when people say, "Oh, I didn't know you do this stuff. I didn't know you'd be here." And I was like, "That's because you didn't take time to know me. That's fine. You know, because I've been doing a lot of stuff. It's just there was a time I was behind the scenes with a lot of things until I realized people are fine with you behind the scenes and they could take your credit or whatever." So, hey, it's a part of the journey. You know what I mean?
It's part of the experience. Yeah.
It's part of the experience, right? So now that I've been stepping out more and taking ownership of the things that I'm doing, the ideas that I have, and just whatever, you know, it's a little different. But the thing is, we had to have a conversation because I wanted him to go to the philanthropy award because I said he's never seen me accept an award, and he sees me every day, right? He sees me the independent mom, the artist. You know, sometimes there's good days, sometimes there's oodles and noodles days, right? Yeah. He sees those things, so I felt it was important for him to see me get a philanthropy award and recognize, right? So then he's like, he was like, okay, I'll go, and then he was like, I don't want to go. And then I was just like, there's something else, right? And he said something to me. I said, do you think people think you're gay if you go there? You know, there's going to be all types of people, right? And I was like, it's, yes, it's a gay organization, right? But there's all types of people. But we had to have that conversation, right? Because now that he's getting older, he's more subconscious about things. And so to me, as a parent, you have to, but just as a human, right? With a conscience and whatever, you have to always be educating the youth around you. But especially if you have a child, you have to be educating them. And it's just like, look, these are some ignorant things, right? You have to go to school because we're in this country and truancy will come to my door and knock on my door if you're not in school. Yeah. So unfortunately, you have to go to school. Well, fortunately, because I work from home because I'm like, I need silence. So
you ain't homeschooling him for nothing. You're like, go to school, kid. You need to go to school now.
Marley, if you're hearing this, there's no such thing as homeschool.
There is no such thing as homeschool. I got to talk about what's your elephant, okay? And we're running out of time, and I really need to talk about that. So I love the artistic masks that you made, and it's all. And I saw that on your website was that was part of what's your elephant, okay? So something that I saw on your site that was written, it said, quote, "We believe in the power of the arts as a safe space to address all that is unspoken, paving the way for healing, connection, and social change," right? Topics that many won't touch. Do you come up with topics? Do the topics come up organically? Does life just happen and then it ends up on these incredible mass global warming, losing reproductive rights, LGBTQ plus crap, drag banning, don't say gay. I can go on and on with the massive amount of crap that we've got on us.
So the thing is to create, to talk about anything unspoken. So it depends on what it is, right? So what's your elephant? There's a couple of major components. We have the art exhibitions where we do a call for art, and it has to be an elephant in the room topic. Then we do the art making workshops where people are creating an art piece and we have conversations. It's big on, destigmatizing conversations about mental health, right? And it's also addressing different challenges. It could be about abuse, social norms, LGBT issues. So sometimes when I'm doing an exhibition or a workshop, it could be any elephant in the room.
Okay.
Sometimes it's focused. Like a couple years ago, I did a series of What's Your Elephant art making workshop and conversation, and I had mental health counselors with me. We talked about it. So it was in an underserved community, right? And so I specifically made a series specifically about traumas because, when we talk about low income, high crime rate, all the things, we don't go back and say, why is it that, right?
And what happened before? Why are we here?
Right? What happened? Yes. So it's just the unprocessed traumas, right? And so,
handed down traumas.
And so sometimes I've done LGBT series where it's more focused because I feel like it's good to give a wide net, and sometimes we have to hone in and come, and
focus
talk about
on
something.
One.
Yeah. So like one of the projects I was in with a couple other artists was Artists for Black Lives Matter, right? And talking about, art that dealt with, any life that was lost unjustly due to a racial thing, right? So, the thing is that, and creating safe spaces. So like if I'm doing a workshop or a talk and I'm telling people what is a safe space, something could come up. I'm not going to tease you about it here. It's not up to, to me to judge you, tell you what you're doing, and it stays here, right? And then sometimes it's also, I have to give resources, because when you tell people, and that's the other thing too, right? Because I started sharing some of the things that I've gone through in my art, and that eventually led me to doing What's Your Elephant, right? So I went through a lot of traumas, growing up and just different things. So realizing people need more spaces to share, realizing people need to be heard, to be seen. Sometimes I can't fix your problem, right? But if I was to sit here and you tell me something and I'm like, it's okay, I'm here for you, I'm without judgment, right? Sometimes that's all you need to not say it changes the past, but at least you feel more humanized and normalized. And then you're like, you know what, maybe I do need therapy.
Right? That might be all you need to get to the next call to action,
Absolutely.
right? To do the next thing, right?
Now, I would say that unfortunately, in my experience, I've been doing What's Your Elephant since 2014, and I've done it with Sun Serve Youth. I've done it with my kid when he was in 3rd grade and 4th grade, old people, all types of ages, all type of demographic. And unfortunately, what I would say is that anytime I've done a workshop where it's any elephant in the room, there's at least 1 or 2 topics of sexual abuse. So that comes up often. One year there was this lady, 72-year-old lady, and I still get goosebumps because she didn't know me. She said her friend saw the workshop posted. She said, oh, you should go to it. She made her work, and she shared about she got molested from both mother and father.
Oh my God.
And the first time she said it at 72 was just then. Right? And so, and it's just like,
wow.
Exactly. And then people come to me.
But that's a lot for you to unpack. That's why you have the correct resources to send that person to where they need to go next.
Absolutely.
But what a wonderful thing that I got chills, that was the safe space that they found to be able to let that go. Something that they had been carrying around for so long.
Yeah.
For decades, because the person was in their 60s or 70s.
She was, 72. And so the thing is, we all need spaces. We need inclusive spaces. We need exclusive spaces as Black people, as LGBT people, as Latin people, as women. We need both exclusive, because sometimes what we may want to talk about and really share as Latin women or as women, we need to just be around others like that women who's going to understand and not question,
not judge.
Not judge, or even Black spaces, right?
Yeah.
People talk about white fragility and all these things like that, right? So Black people need also, but we also have to have inclusive spaces, because that's how we learn how to be in community, right? And community is that I could sit with whoever's on that table and respect them for their differences, honor them for who they are, what they bring to the table. It's fine. They don't have to be like me. It's fine. They didn't agree with everything that I said, but I could say, I respect you as Faye.
Yeah.
Right.
I might have learned something from you. You might have learned something from me.
Absolutely. And so so it's important, especially because sometimes with, LGBT stuff, like we stay in this bubble. Right. So that's the other thing too, right? When I'm doing my art shows, whether it's What's Your Elephant or whatever, this one lady, she came up to me. I didn't know her. Someone else invited her. She said, you're not just curating the art, you're curating people.
Oh, I love that.
I was just like, yeah, because, my collaborations have always been kind of, it's into a lot of things I do. I don't think I do anything, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? But I always try to be very intentional and layered and think about these things, right? So we have people to say, oh yeah, we're open, right? But we only stay with our little clique.
Yeah.
Or we only stay with the LGBT. We only stay with Black people. We only stay with Hispanic people, whatever. So when I'm doing things, I'm intentionally trying to bring in people that's going to bring in other demographics of people. And then they're in this space and it's like, wow, there's this vibe.
Right.
I love it.
And it's not as scary as I thought. And it's not as different as I thought. And look, I'm being supported and welcomed in. What the hell was I even worried about?
Exactly,
And it takes someone like you to do that, Nikki, because you've got that voice, you've got that presence.
Yeah.
Nick, what would you tell Nicole? Using a government name with an H, bitch. Nicole, what would you tell a queer Black or brown kid out there who's artistic? Right? Might be a little weird because, we're always a little weird, right? When we're that age, don't know exactly what box they fit in, right? What do you, and are for sure artistic, drawing stuff, making things out of nothing, What do you tell that queer kid about their future possibilities?
I feel I would want to tell that queer kid to do whatever it takes to be more and more comfortable being fully who you are. Don't listen to any people could sometimes have the good intentions, but it's the wrong thing for you, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're queer, you're an artist, you're doing something like, sometimes it's a challenge. It's not easy. There's definitely struggles that I go through and I face.
Of course.
But at the same time, I sleep well at night knowing that I'm living in my purpose and going where I feel that, like creating my own path. So I think it's important to say that you're not alone. You're perfect in who you are, even if you don't feel perfect. What is something positive that you could say to yourself? Or sometimes what's easier is, what is something positive that you could say to someone else in your shoes, right? Because sometimes we're our worst critic. I'm my worst critic.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I got to give myself a hug. But when I know that what can I say to someone else in that, then I realize, okay, I'm really telling myself that as well. So the thing is to really at some point, you either are going to find community or realize you're the birth of whatever that community is, right? It's like for me, I struggled with fitting in because whether I'm on with my Jamaican side of the family, and that's when they want to call me the Panamanian. When I'm with the Panamanian, oh, she's the Jamaican, when I'm with the straight people, or if I'm with the gay people and they're like, is she straight? And I used to just want to fit in so badly. And so part of my personal journey has been, I wasn't born to fit in. There's nothing about me that could ever fit in. So
and
why fucking try? And that's okay. And that's part of my power, right? Because when I'm struggling to fit in, that's me not being who I am. And when I'm being who I am, I was at some event one time and this person, now I've seen them, I don't know them. Right. And he came up to me at the Pride Center and he was just like, thank you for being real. And I was like, I don't know who he is.
Okay, but you don't have to.
Yeah, but so you never know who you're going to touch.
And who's watching.
So sometimes when we're struggling so much to fit in, to be liked, for like, how come they're forgetting about me? Sometimes it's intentional, but we're not going to go into that.
That's a whole other conversation.
I had to do the Prince eye, right? But the thing is, that's okay because when I'm more myself, then people are like, oh my God, I didn't know you did this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you did, wow, this is amazing stuff. So I feel like telling that kid, to hold on, to write, to draw, to try to be as positive. And sometimes if you're feeling negative, that's okay too, right?
Okay too.
Because to try to make it like we're, not going through depression if we are.
Yeah. That's not all
helpful.
sunshine and rainbows.
It's not all sunshine. Sometimes you got to sit, I got to sit there, right? Like I'm in a moment. And I'm just going to sit there because we want to escape our feelings.
Yeah.
We want to escape how we feel. And sometimes when we give that feeling space, then it moves on.
It moves on. And sometimes it takes care of itself.
Absolutely.
So queer kids, stop trying to put yourself in a box. Be who you are authentically.
Absolutely.
Okay? And keep drawing and journaling, right? All
Absolutely.
right. Thank you, Nikki Lopez, for being on the FayWhat show. Honey, you are tremendous. Will you promise me to come back on the show?
Yes.
There's so much more stuff I want to talk about with you. We've got so much stuff that we can unfold. Oh my God. Make sure that you follow Nikki on all social media outlets. Okay? She's on Facebook at Nikki Art Studio. She's on IG at Nikki Lopez. And also What's Your Elephant is online as well. Make sure you follow them and support, okay? Figure out what's your elephant and go on to the next event. She just had a magic and tarot card and relationship event a couple months ago. So for you single people, you never know what Nikki's doing. All right, so follow her on all social media outlets. Nikki, thank you so much for being on my show. I adore you.
Thank you.
Un besito. Mwah. We'll be right back.
All right.
That's it. That's the FayWhat show. I hope that you had fun. Thank you so much to Jonathan Casañas for joining me in bed and Nikki Lopez for the great interview. What an incredible, incredible trailblazer she is. I adore her. I am really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. It's often hard for us girls. If we believe we are one strong community, then we must support all the letters of our LGBT and Q plus. We open the show with a nod to Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. This show is dedicated to a strong LGBTQ plus community. I just encourage you to be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity because it is what makes us so damn strong. Until then, make sure you follow me on all social media outlets, Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube, you know the drill. Follow FayWhat. And since you're always on the go, you can listen to The FayWhat Show wherever you listen to your podcasts. Just search The FayWhat Show. Until next Monday at 9 a.m. live or anytime on demand, I am FayWhat, and I am hashtag that girl. I wish you a week full of sunshine and rainbows. Stay gay.
Rainbows, gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat Show. Get the week started with me.